Hello, everyone, and welcome to Recapping the Elite, episode 9. We've been doing this, I thought 9 weeks. It's actually been 8 because we had that one special. But I got to tell you, Tony Khan's fucking us up. When we don't pop on Saturday, it's like 100 people don't watch.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tony Khan. Even though you're stealing our booking ideas, you're killing us, and you're doing it again next week.
Yeah, I did see that last week on the views. I'm like, I mean, we're still doing good numbers, but also I'm like, we lost a little lightning we were riding.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was because last week, and in my opinion, this week, I got to say again, the highlight for me, Arn Anderson in the warehouse. That warehouse door should open, should have been targets. What? He wasn't shooting anything. Again, they blow it. and I got to say one thing. The whole thing was, and I'm jumping the gun, but they already announced next week Cody versus Malachi Black. So Arn got him ready, I guess, by burning his tie and taking him to a warehouse. There's no build up to this. They could have done some more videos and just made it a full gear match.
Yeah, they could have. Well, it probably is better at Dynamite only because, well, I guess it was Dynamite that also booed him. I don't think you want a pay-per-view booing him.
Shut up, dog. My dog doesn't like Malachi Black, I guess. He must be a Cody guy.
Yeah, he's a face mark.
Yeah, we got to start this week though with shut up, dog. Jesus. We're done talking about Cody, dog. We got to start this week with Rampage because they did the flippity flip and Rampage aired on Friday like it always does, but then Dynamite, it was the special Saturday night Dynamite.
Yes, they just like the whole thing. They liked all the flippity. They made the whole schedule all flippity.
Yeah, they're doing it again next week. It's driving me nuts. And
what's going on TNT on Wednesdays that they're like wrestling? No, thank you.
I think it's like a hockey game or something.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that Rampage opened up. No fucking Mark Henry in the booth. Ricky Starks, I didn't know was there because he talked a little more this week. It was basically Taz's show because you didn't have Daffy Duck up there interrupting everybody. But you had it opened with Punk again against Matt Sydal. Look, I get, and I think we said this on the Barbed Wire Bite. I get that Punk wants to work with these young kids and Gary Wolf, Pitbull One, he explained he thinks Punk is just really rusty and did not keep in any shape, so he needs to have all these quote unquote tune-up matches. I'm sick of these fucking tune-up matches. Can't we get him in a program with someone we give a shit about? Well, last week was Dante Martin, this week's Matt Sydal. And these kids are working circles around his ass.
What is it? Matt Sydal, I thought he's young.
Well, I mean, I guess in terms of television wrestling, he's young.
They said they literally talked about like they've matched before last time, and I could be wrong on the years, but 2010. They're like, yeah, they met each other in 2010. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Especially in this promotion. But I agree. I think also I heard this week had a lot of shooting towards both promotions, WWE and AEW. And then like Tony Khan was even joking about like, I don't need commercials. And like,
yeah, I got more money. I could do without. It's like,
so you did no commercials on the lackluster show just because CM Punk. Like they were like commercial free. I'm like, I don't think people want to watch this for commercial free because I think Punk will need a breather. If anybody needs a commercial, Punk would love to have not even a picture in picture. Give him a full blown off camera so he can have like get a ref to give him a bottle of water like it's boxing. Like, all right, come on, buddy, rub the.
What he needs is a box of I'll give him a box. I got a bunch upstairs. There's no shame, Punk, just for men. You know what? You need that. You look like a patchy ass raccoon up there. Because clearly he's coloring his hair. Because I'm gonna give you a tip. Your hair ain't jet black and your facial hair full of gray. It don't work that way. It's both. So he's taking the time to color his hair. Can't he use a little bit of that mojo left and get his cheeks? It makes him, he looks like a grizzled old man.
Yeah. And
he won. I mean, and that's the other thing. Everybody's like, oh, I thought so and so almost had him. He's not getting paid to job. I gotta see Punk, but I don't know who to put him with. If you put him with, say they said, okay, we're gonna program him right away with Kenny Omega, that match is gonna suck. And Omega's gonna make him look like shit.
He to be honest, the best person for him right now would be like a Cody. Like, because Cody, he's not saying, I'm not saying he's not on the top of his game, but like Cody can carry a match. You let CM Punk still look kind of big, and like he is the perfect guy. Because how I word it, like just now, because I'm looking it down at my phone, you can't pick like Moxley. Moxley does too much rough housing fucking moves that are slow, but would fuck up Punk. It'd mess him up. It would make his matches look really weak. I guess either Cody or even like Eddie Kingston would be a good one.
Kingston would be good. He'd find a chink in the armor.
Yeah, because like just about size and speed, I think it'd be good. Now, Miro would be another questionable guy. Would be another great one, but yeah, just he's getting old. And also like I don't like for AEW has the which I love that it goes into this, like we are trying to review them and also like praise them, but like I have a problem with like this, like CM Punk is keeping his undefeated streak on the line. I'm like, it's only 4 wins.
Yeah,
it's only 4 now. It's 4. Excuse me, it was 3 before.
4 wins and about 9 interviews.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, 4. He's 4-15. 4 wins, 15 interviews,
yeah,
and then 2 crowd jumps. If you want to have the whole stat, like, but it just, I don't know. There are things that could be more beneficial, I think, but also again, I'm not in CM Punk's locker room. I don't know if he's actually. I get sometimes some of these wrestlers. That's where I get. Maybe I need that. You need that psycho man, old man mentality. Like, is anybody practicing? Is anybody going to the gym more than just collecting a check now? Like, is that what it was? Everyone got mad that they had to be on the top of their A game with WWE. I know it's about creativity and shit, but the idea of like, you got to have all these rusty matches on TV because you guys can't go put in the work off camera. I just don't. That's the part I don't understand sometimes.
And it's like the matches. There's no Tony Khan can sit there, and he did another interview where, since I started doing the booking, listening to our show, yeah, then it got better. But like it's like there's no stories anymore. It's just I want to fight you, and then we have a couple weeks of matches. And then it's done. He's throwing shit at a wall right now. I mean, there's some build up to certain angles, but Punk has no angle. It's just he comes out, I am CM Punk. And then he has a scrub match, 80s style scrub match that goes 10 minutes longer than it needs to. And then he waves it, thank you, fans. And, that's not going to revolutionize their company.
Right. Like, how I word it. Even him and Seidel shaking hands before and after that, AEW is not the first one to have it. That's just normal wrestling. You don't need to like, especially if that's I'm trying to promote it or like highlight it on my match. I'm going to shake hands. It happens everywhere, buddy. Like it's not. It's like that. I just want the most potential from AEW, and I just feel more mad that I had to drill them a little bit every fucking week about it.
Well, and did you notice even Taz on commentary? Oh, this Punk, he's a blue chipper. This guy's a stud. He knows it's like you were in a feud with him 3 fucking weeks ago. What happened?
He did mention because I hate the guy, but he is a blue chipper.
Yeah, we need Hook up there. Punk fears Hook. After that boring ass match, I had to grab him up my phone. The Bunny There's no talent in the bunny. I'm sorry. There's none. She fought Ruby Soho. There's the talent. There's your women's division right there. And all that match was so Penelope Ford could come out and crack her one with the Nux.
Yeah.
Wow. It could have been a back, like I've said on other things, could have been a backstage segment.
Who is it? Out of all of them, and like, hey, a lot more about compared to what I can do, but like the idea of like that match was just the bunny coming to, or the bunny just being there to be a face to tilt her head for nothing. It was very lackluster. And then what is it? The match itself it felt like Ruby was carrying, even though it was just her getting smacked. All those weird random like super kicks when she's like all bind up in the ropes in the corner. I'm like, just to, I don't know. But yeah, Penelope, even with, I guess Penelope has more talent than Bunny, but like if it's going to go to now, Ruby has to fight the Penelope next week or something. I'm like, oh fuck, it's rough.
Ruby is talented, but she's at least in her case, they paid all this money for. They're at least having her in programs, not like Punk where he just comes out in waves. At least they're getting their money worth on the soundtrack. I think what is that she uses, that the
Rancid.
Okay, well, clearly Rancid probably didn't say use it for free. Tony Khan had to cut a check. At least they're getting their. I guess though they made their money in Punk's shirt. So I mean, like Tony Khan says, he has more money than Vince. It's like, no, your dad has more money than Vince. I'm starting to wonder if Vince's strategy now could be, this guy's buying all this talent. I'm just gonna keep letting these people go. He's gonna buy them. He's gonna keep buying them, and he's gonna go broke. Not so much go broke, but the dad will be like, kid, I've given you $25 million and you made two. We're pulling this. We're finished.
That's what he said in that board meeting video or call. He said like that. He's like, if they want more talent, we got it.
Hey, they got the real talent because he was up next. Yeah, he was up next. He was the one that says, the time for talking is done. It's time for the main event. Okay, now let me ask you this before we even talk about that. Mark Henry, who we big fans of here.
Big fan.
Mark Henry's getting paid. They did not get Mark Henry for change. Why would you pay a guy just to simply go, it's time for the main event? I mean, he's getting a check. Even the Big Show, he's getting a check to sit there with Shivani for a couple hours. I can't justify the pay for these guys, and I don't know what they get paid. Excuse me.
That's what gets me into like the idea of like, I don't even know what's the word? That's where it contradicts my opinions about how some of these wrestlers are. Like Mark Henry, Big Show are definitely like, they're like the old hens in the coop in the back. I know they're out front of the camera and shit, but they're supposed to be there to help talent find like creativity and all that shit. And also probably, I thought they're supposed to be like this is what we used to do back in the day. Like that shit. Like how they have Dean Malenko and Jerry Lynn come out that one time. But I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, judging by the matches, are they just collecting checks, eating ramen noodles back there, just like this? You guys are doing great. Just fucking just eating noodles, watching it in the corner.
I mean, really, what does Mark Henry do other than go, it's time for the main event? I mean, he does that well, don't get me wrong, but that's what he does. I mean, they took him off the commentary booth already. Put Ricky Starks in. That makes no sense.
Right. No,
he was there to introduce. You had the inner circle, sort of. You had Jericho, Hager, and Guevara. Guevara, the workhorse of this group here by long and away, against the Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos. Junior Dos Santos is one of my favorite UFC fighters. So let's pull the curtain back. If that was a real ding, 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 it would be pop, pop, pop in the inner circle. I'll be dead. But I don't get this feud. Dan Lambert, clearly, like I think I've said before, he's clearly reading a script because he's just rattling off in succession. There's no pauses, no breaks. Jim Cornette even pointed that out. it's almost like he's hired to be Jim Cornette, but no one cares. It was, Haggard and Haggard, Swaggard, whatever his name is, Hager. Him and Junior had a little table spot. Sammy did pretty much everything. Jericho, he looked terrible. I won't say he didn't. The match was okay. It was a decent main event, but all it did was to set up. You knew Jorge Masvidal was going to come in. And remember how I said the first time I thought he hit him with the real knee because he split him open and everything? This time he wasn't even close. He didn't come anywhere near his head. He was like a mile away. And Jericho sold it like he just got shot. And then Paige Van Zant's in there and everybody's in there. And after like 5 fucking minutes, finally Santana and Ortiz run down to, clear the house and everything. It just, all that was just to set up, well, we don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if, which I hope they don't do the build, Stadium Stampede, Inner Circle against America's Top Team.
You took it from me. That's what
you think. I mean, come on.
I messaged it to you.
That's where it's got to go there. They were in every fucking Stadium Stampede.
It's the only solution I could think of that will help non-wrestlers understand how to do spots in a pre-recorded thing. And then also the idea of like how you said Junior Dos Santos, there were moments at the beginning with Jericho.
Shut up, dog.
You could see if this was a real fight, they would be gone, because there was a part when Junior went like this real quick to go with the back and forth. I'm like, you guys would be dead. You guys would be already. But yes, right now, even at the end of Rampage, because of what is it? They lost, but an all American or top team, whatever, won. And we don't know yet, but also we had a promo on Dynamite we'll talk about. There was a funny moment on there, but yeah, it was an all right match. I think I guess more to highlight Junior.
Yeah,
he did all right. He did.
Yeah, he did okay.
I think they did the smart thing. They like, okay, he looks too fast against Jericho. He's too big for Sammy. So we'll have Hagar do the big blow and get in the table and we'll lay down. We're done. All right, good job, man. Good job. And then we had Jericho hit get Jorge's butt cheek, not his knee.
Yeah. If that, I mean, it was like, whoosh, he came flying at Jericho so fast, the wind hit him and knocked him out. That must have been it. But yeah, and then that one he sells like literally they're helping him up and like that. I need carbohydrates. But I mean, he sold it like you got hit with a brick or something. Which to his credit, I mean, you're supposed to, but
yeah,
these guys, their ultimate fighter. Paige Van Zandt is a terrible, terrible brass knuckle fighter. She'd beat the shit out of Sammy Guevara. I don't think people realize that these are trained fighters. Like they're everyone's hero, CM Punk. He tried his hand in it. He got embarrassed. That's what happens. These are professional fighters. I don't understand why. I just don't get why Dan Lambert and these pro fighters are with these guys. I mean, I really don't get. Like you said, the only thing it can be was to get Junior Dos Santos a little bit over, but I don't know. And this has been going on a couple months already.
Yeah. I mean, how to word it. The only thing I could think of they're also doing is they're actually putting some real heat on the men of the year, because we'll go. I don't want to go that far future, but on the Dynamite thing, it was a constant boo whenever the top team were talking. And even when Scorpio, even the parts remember, I pinned you twice and everyone's yelling, you still suck.
Yeah.
So either they're trying to get a really good heel, like how they got MJF is like a born heel now. He can walk out and everyone goes, I hate him, but I love him. Like that shit.
Yeah.
But Scorpio and Chris, I think right now, if anything, I don't even know how to word it. I think maybe it's me, because also I'm more of the wrestling guy. I would be okay if Scorpio and it's Jack Evans.
Yeah.
Or it's because
Is
Chris
it?
Evans is Captain America. Jack Evans is
Jack
the wrestler.
Yeah, that other guy. No,
Evans,
Ethan
the guy
Page.
with the Ethan Page.
Ethan
Whoever
Page.
the guy with the tightest tits in the game, he said.
Hell yeah.
That's where I'd be rather have him, and then they should just pull that off. Say, my shoes are better, my tits are better. Like just go through the whole thing, and then have Scorpio Sky be him. I think it could work now. We don't need this whole entourage. I need a parade. But I guess also it's kind of working because we're like, it makes me think about I don't think about them outside AEW, but I'm like, okay, here we go. We call woke and I need a parade. That was okay, but I don't know.
Well, next time they should bring out another Ultimate Fighting back. When we've got, because they seem to have forgotten Arlovsky. When we got Andre Arlovsky, that's when Jericho go, and we got an enforcer. And Arn comes down and just bap, 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 and he kills all of them. And see, because Arn's the most over guy in the company. I thought the show was, as I'm pulling up the results here, I thought the show was, it was your typical Rampage. Boy, girl, boy. They did not stray from the formula in the least.
Even the pregame was boy, girl, boy.
And I think what made me so upset was because I beforehand I said, boy, I didn't like Dynamite. And I think it was because a little bit in my head, the last Saturday Night Dynamite they did was a real big deal. And they had Jungle Boy and they had Omega. They put on a really good show. And this one, I mean, here we go. It's, Jim Ross went, it's Saturday night. You know what that means? And what it meant was we're going to open up with Dante Martin, who I like. I think the kid's very talented, against Malachi Black. So talented, popular kid, booed out of the building. Malachi kicked the crap out of him, stopped the match. It was a throwaway.
Yeah.
It didn't open with the Elite. See, they fucked up right from the get-go.
Dynamite didn't either. But the Rampage's best match, and you might not, is on a free YouTube buy-in. That Daniel Bryan Suzuki was really well. It was that classic Japanese hard shit, but compared to the rest of it, it was the best thing.
And why was that on the YouTube?
I heard the buy-in was to rub it into WWE's face. You know what I mean? It's like some weird psychological things but at the same time, I don't know.
See, I'll say it again, and I don't like WWE. I'm not a fan of their product. I like the AEW product. AEW 5,000-6,000 seat arena. When they go to these 75,000, 100,000 seat arenas, when they start doing TV from 50,000, 60,000 seat arenas, then I'll say you're on their level. Right now, no. Winning the as Jericho brags, the demographics, that's not the overall rating. It's they beat NXT. They beat WWE scrub program. And now they're putting on their own scrub program. Like I said here, Saturday Night Dynamite, I like Dante Martin. I don't give a shit about him. And then what? Malachi Black beats him, and then for some reason, Leroy Rush shows up. See, it's because I'm going to be your new tag partner. And what the fuck is this?
What is it? We had a man on the scene this week. Not the Rampage we're discussing. He was actually, but I asked him because that was one of the things that we always talk about is the crowd of I asked him, hey,
real quick, let me hit pause for 1 second. I got to do one fast thing, fans. Sorry about that. Yeah, you had Delvin there at the show yesterday without a fucking sign.
He said he had it, and then also we did this. For what I'm seeing, we did not make it onto this Dynamite, but he said he is on possibly the next week's Rampage since they filmed it there. So he technically has the results, but I didn't hear them. And I don't want to hear them yet.
No, I mean, we had that opening fantastic match to lead into back. I felt like I just got rid of him. Here comes the Inner Circle. Now there was Santana and Ortiz because they're all going to fight the America's Top Team who came out. And I did like Jericho when he asked Van Zant if her
Hold on.
filter was bitch.
Wait a minute. Are we done with Rampage?
Yeah.
Okay, because it started with Malachi and
Dante.
Yeah,
we already covered that.
Okay, I'm just making sure because it felt
match. Because then remember Lilo Rush was like, "You gonna be my new partner."
I like Dante Martin, and then also, I was just gonna say was, I am interested in that little head nod at the end. Are they trying to say Dante Martin has a chance to become a House of Black member? Be the flippity person of the House of Black? That was interesting. And we had Delvin on the scene, and the reason I just want to say anything because I asked him, he's like, we have been saying the crowds have been get fizzled out. And then just trying to figure out is he said no. He said some of these fans are dead.
They hate the House of Black. These days. Shut up. We're not talking about Malachi Black. They don't like what he did. They're Cody dogs.
Yeah. No. And then just the idea of he said sometimes the matches just don't the fans there just didn't understand the matches, or they are tired. Like he said, which goes into your usual views. He said like he put it in particular. He's like that Kira Hogan versus Penelope Ford match. He said the crowd was dead as a shit. They didn't give a flying fuck about it. And then I was curious of how it is with Rampage. He goes, no, we were fine, but he just said the fans sometimes are just not they're there to be there for because they're fans, but some of them they do not act, they don't help, they're just dead.
And speaking of fans, I wanted to beat the shit out of those three guys in the blue shirts in the front row that kept standing up. Motherfucker, if you're in the front row and I'm in the second row and you're standing up the whole time, your ass is going to be sitting down in about 10 seconds, whether I got to hit you with the chair or get security.
Those guys.
That drove me insane. I'm sitting there. I was focusing on them during half the match. It's like, you're in the front row. Sit down. The child behind you can't see. They had heat from me.
They're big. I'm looking at them right now. They're 4 big fucking dudes and they're all drinking and they just stand like, but also if that's how tall they are, they might be as tall as John Silver back there.
You're in the front row. Why would you block the view of the people behind you?
Who knows?
And why wasn't anybody behind them going, sit your fucking ass down? I don't get it.
They don't like them either.
No, they had heat for me. The American Top Team promo didn't have a lot of heat for me. Like I said, I like when Jericho asked her if her filter was bitch. But then, he babbled, and blah, 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 blah. Lambert needs to take a breath and pause when he's reading his script. But he's like, you're the only one with the title, and we're gonna give you our stipulations next week, and then we'll have the match. So they got to keep dragging out. I've got this feeling that it's gonna be Junior taking on Sammy.
Really? I think it might be who knows, but I think it might could Full Gear have a stadium stampede, or is it already set up?
I don't think so. I mean, because it looks like they're doing some of that tournament before Full Gear. Yeah, they're doing the brackets. I don't know. I read Tony Khan's little scribble that somebody took a picture of. Ooh, I've got Dynamite drink.
Delvin said he got to watch that first bracket. He got to watch the Hobbs and Orange Cassidy last night.
And I'm confident Orange Cassidy won that match.
Oh, probably, but that digress. That's next week.
Yeah, what do you think of that long promo? I do like when Lambert calls them the inner circle jerks. I do find that kind of funny. I won't lie.
The funniest part was just which again goes into the script, but when Lambert says he was calling you guys have the biggest rap sheet, you have the biggest mouth, and then he goes, and Hagar, you got the biggest head I've ever seen on a human body. Do you jump into your shirt?
That's right.
Then obviously Sammy, his mic was turned down a little bit low. So when Scorpio was talking, he goes, "Hey, will you guys shut your bitch ass up?" And it was like too far away from the microphone or
Yeah,
something.
nobody heard him. I am the Spanish guy. I do like Sammy. Wherever they I don't know anything about Sammy. Wherever they found that kid, possibly AAA or something, he's really good. I really do like him.
No, I like. That's the thing. I like the whole I like majority of the roster of AEW.
I do too. Yeah, there are very few I dislike, and if I dislike him, it's more so like I just don't care about him as opposed to dislike. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and then the Inner Circle in particular, they have earned my respect because of obviously becoming the Inner Circle and doing all the matches prior. But yeah, this is probably the weakest rivalry of the Inner Circle, but they have potential to make it work. But obviously, it would have to end with a stadium stampede,
and that better be quick because I can't do 4 or 5 months of this nonsense.
Right. What was after that?
After that was it Arn?
No, it was the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, the Lucha Brothers against the mystery team who, Shivani and Punk figured it out right away. I wasn't paying enough attention, but it was FTR. And it was a good match, actually. I thought the flippity mixed with their mat wrestling worked pretty good. The old school 80s cheat. It was for the AAA. Those AAA belts look terrible. Those are the ugliest title belts I think I've ever seen.
How long was the Lucha Brothers? They've been over a year as the champs, right?
Yeah, they've had a hell of a long run over there.
Okay, so it's good for them to drop it, but like the CM Punk and the guys on at the booth, they kind of said it how I thought of it. He's like, "Oh, this is weird. It's not nobody I've ever seen there." So, oh, good. They're passing the titles off away from the roster of AAA, which again doesn't mean AAA doesn't have a bad roster, but like it's probably still better to have a AEW person holding the reins to keep the promotion alive, I guess.
But why did Andrade? Then they show Andrade giving MJF money. Okay, MJF ain't their fucking boss. He should have given Tully money. That would have made. Didn't have to give anybody money. But why wouldn't he just say, "I've hired the FTR to take it"? Why did they have to dress him up? I mean, it was just kind of. I didn't get that.
Because it was a mystery AAA. So everybody who watched AAA is supposed to get hyped, and then they latest, they didn't have nobody from AAA here.
No, it didn't make no sense. And then he paid. You want to cash your check, both. So he gives him both. It's like, why is he paying MJF? And he's like, "No, you only got him for the night. Don't forget." But it's like, why are you giving MJF money? It made no sense, other than it was a little funny bit. You got to see him, get ready for the ring. But I mean, if you're going to give somebody the cash to use him, you would have to be Tully.
It must be it just goes in the idea of he's the ringleader of the Pinnacle, but also it would be better if they saw there was no like, hey, why'd you give him money, right? There was
no conflict, which they could, something that WWE did with the big boss man taking the money to get the belt back.
And then just take the idea of like that could have helped crumble the Pinnacle, but whatever.
And then you had, I believe it was the Arn promo where Cody rolls up to the warehouse with Arn, and Cody was obviously late. Why are they not blaming Arn? He was driving. But, like, "Oh, you're late," and they smack him, and then he's having people attack him and punch him, and, it's like, "Malachi Black, see this picture? Your daddy gave me 30 staples, but I deserved it." It's like, what the fuck? He should have went, "You fucking up," and pulled out a gun or something, started shooting at his feet, dance, motherfucker. And, but no, so Cody just had to keep fighting these people that were cheap shotting him. And because of this one training session where some girl slapped Cody twice, now he's ready for Malachi Black. Malachi Black's going to beat him again.
People are thinking this might be the true might make Cody might go heel, but I don't think so. You must really like that promo because it hasn't happened yet. Because I'm watching Dynamite right now while and it has not happened. We had the squash match of Moxley versus Yutan, which did the best way it could have been. Slam, and I don't know if that at the end was true. Like it looked like Yutan was getting like checked on by the doctors
because he
maybe,
sucks.
I know. I
Trent's
get it.
he's Trent's placeholder. He's horrible. I hate him. I miss Trent.
It was one slam, pin, Moxley kick the gate next to Delvin and walk back out.
Now they're talking like this. Some of the rumors in the rumbling back in the sheet area. Shut up. Is that they want to get Moxley and Orange into a feud?
That's the bracket. That's who they have to fight.
Then have a confrontation. Something. Orange didn't do nothing. You know, it's just Moxley. It took him longer to walk past somewhere where I see no fucking sign. Walked right past our guy. No sign. Mox could have, like you said, he could have ripped that fucker up. But you know, it took him longer to walk out than it did to beat this ass clown. It was. I know I get everybody though. Everybody gets to see Moxley and Wild Thing, which nobody sings. But you know, it feel good moment maybe because everybody hates Wheeler Yutan. I hate
it. There was more time staring at Orange go like this, looking at Yutan on the ground. I guess that's his version to build up for the bracket. Oh no, it was Orange and Hobbs.
No, he's fighting Hobbs.
But then I think Moxley is on the next part, so that it would end up have to be Moxley and Orange in the middle bracket after these preliminaries.
Just do it one big night. Do a big, like the old King of the Ring used to be, where the whole tournament took place in one night. They've got guys there that can wrestle 3 or 4 matches.
That's I'm at the part because again it hasn't happened yet, but because then the Yutan thing happened, and then next was Super Click versus Dark Order.
That match was good. The Dark Order, for being a pack of clowns, and I love the Dark Order, they are all in their own way very talented, and they all highlight each other. John Silver, I mean, the amount of triple moves these guys can hit.
Yeah.
But the only downside to it was you never once thought, there was never in my mind did I think, oh God, Super Click's going to lose, because they don't lose. That needs to change a little bit there. But no, especially the spot where what's it, Bay, he's got him in the camel clutch and they take out the Bucks and they go and kiss him and he's like, and then they all nail their moves. I mean, Evil Uno and I mean, they're just a great, I like the team. I like that they finally, I think maybe it was just like, nobody cares that these guys are fighting. They need to be together. It's gone too long. But no, that should have opened the show. That was the Elite needs to open the shows. That's how good they are. Yeah.
They have the electricity, but also they might be doing it to keep the middle of the show have some more electricity, because people are already hyped up for being there. And then maybe I'm going to ask, which it doesn't help right now, but I am going to ask Delve in that situation that we've always said, just to see how it felt in the crowd. And I feel more bad. I have to be like the outside looking in. Can you tell me how it felt? Can you tell me how it is? But they don't come to fucking Michigan.
Don't come here to Nebraska either.
The closest they think to Nebraska, they're coming to St. Louis for you.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they run like Kansas. They live 3-hour drives, but props. I saw you sent me a picture of Delvin. He was wearing a mask. Big shout out to anybody that's taking the pandemic seriously.
Yeah. He also, I know him. He's already vaccinated and everything too. He still does it. That's good.
Yeah, I do too. I go to Shop Lucha to buy Lucha Libre face masks, which I wear all day long, even though I'm double vaxxed too.
But what is it with the Super Click? And I think they're also showing a little thing about Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy could just be on his own already. And I feel for the rest, because there was a part at the beginning with the promo. I got to tell you, the whole Express is hurt. And then he spun up the idea. Even Christian, I'm like, who gives a fuck about Christian?
Yeah, he wasn't there this week leeching off the young talent.
Thank God. And then they had Lucha. They even said about, Lucha almost had his back broken from that horrible okay, you want to bring that? And that was funny. And Kenny goes, that's what happened. We kicked him in this beanbag. And like they're the best parts of this goddamn show.
Yeah.
And like the idea of it's that grown talent and also being the elite. But seeing Jungle Boy come out and then what snare trap? Yes, the snare trap Cutler and then spray him with the chemicals. That was great.
Yeah, because he's got him hooked. And I like how because he can wear the face mask, so he can just take it full, which makes it sells good. I like how they always just leave him there, like, fuck him. They don't even come out to help him or anything like that.
Yeah, but just that's it. The next, I'm in there right now. Next is the promo we already talked about with Arn and Cody at the thing. Now I see what it is like. Having practicing wrestling. Apparently Malachi is the intensity of wrestling 4 or 5 wrestlers and then being talked down to by Red Velvet and that other girl that's under the nightmare like wrestling thing.
Should have opened up that fucking warehouse, had target Malachi Blacks. They could just been shooting them.
That's what it should have been. They should have Arn should have gave, because even his son's there. They should have gave every single person who's wrestling right there. Oh, that's who it was. You're talking about slapped him. They all should have had guns. And then, Cody's here. Okay, we'll put the guns down, then beat him up in the ring. But they all should have been like this and just going.
They need to be pistol whipped. Somebody better get fucking pistol whipped.
The girl should have pistol whipped Cody right there.
Because he was late, even though Arn was driving.
At the Rhodes Wrestling Academy.
Yeah, it's Cody's school, and he takes a lot of shit. That was Dustin there, right?
Yep, Dustin was
he
there.
Don't help his brother either. He just watched his brother get beat up. Cody needs to wear a star on his face next week.
You better put a star on your face, boy.
And then you had your feel good moment there where MJF comes down, and I did like how when I think it was Punk. Well, there's no match. Wardlow ain't with him. But, he cuts this long, and this has been done 100 times in every company. Count them out, and the ref makes even though the opponent's not there, 8, 9, starts snowing. Here comes Sting, whomps Wardlow, MJF runs away, Sting stands down. That was so everybody could see Sting, but I still want to know how Darby could get thrown into a door, choke with a skateboard, and he miss a week's worth of action. We're watching this fucker dive out of helicopters.
Yeah.
Made no sense. I watched him get thrown down a flight of steps, and he bounced himself. He like, boom, 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 boom. And he was back that night.
Mid-match.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, but throw it into a door and getting choked with a skateboard has put you out of commission.
No, I agree. I just, it was, I'm watching it right now, and of course it's like you said, promo, blah blah blah. I'm really excited for this match when it actually happens.
I want to know one thing. So Sting, his symbol is, and I have a tattoo of it. His symbol is not a Sting one, but I have a big scorpion tattoo. His symbol is the scorpion.
Yeah.
Why does it snow when he comes out? Scorpions live in desert heat environment.
Because he's also connected to being the crow.
Yeah, but it rained in the crow. It didn't snow.
Yeah.
See, it's just, I guess because he debuted on Winter is Coming.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's a neat little entrance to get a little snow machine. And everybody popped. They get to see Sting, who Arn could just shoot. Then you had, like you were saying, the deadest match of the night. Kiera Hogan, Penelope Ford. No one gave a rat's ass. That crowd was so silent.
Yeah. And you can't, in the YouTube, you can't tell us no, because we had people there and they said it was dead as a doornail.
And that was all for Ruby to come down do her running at the end, get her revenge from getting cracked with the knucks. But the match was, once again, instead of having a match that boring, just do a backstage segment.
I need to watch it. I ain't gonna lie for listeners. This fucking Super Saturday shit is fucking me over because I was at work when I started and like I thought I was gonna start later. So I am pushing through it, but the highlights I saw, the only thing I saw was cool was the superplex, which obviously then, but not saying that should be that should be on TV. But yes, the crowd was dead. That's all I can say too.
And really, up next was the big Hangman Page promo. The crowd was not into it in the beginning because he's sitting there. I left Ring of Honor in New Japan and we formed this company with my friends. The crowd just, and I lost my friend and I lost my confidence and I lost this. But in the crowd, it's not like they're hanging on his every word. They're just like, Jesus. It's like, but you people stuck by me to do cowboy shit. And of course, you throw out the profanity, then the whole crowd, cowboy shit. So he did get him back in. But I mean, and then he's like, and I left in the biggest run of my career to be with my baby. What I don't remember if it was a boy or girl. He said it, but the crowd was still like, yeah, cowboy shit. He knew how to hook him. But I guess he's back at work, which is good. I guess maybe that's why the Dark Order stopped fighting because he's back at work. But I think him and Omega, at the end of the day, I can make fun of the promo because no one cared because I think Adam Page is a horrible fucking promo, but he's a hell of a wrestler. I think him and Omega. I mean, the only thing that could hurt them is we've wanted to see this match. This match has really been teased and built for 2 years since this company started. Can it live up to the hype? I think it can.
I think it's going to live up to the hype, and not even just because that is because the talent, like you said, even if it was, there are matches on YouTube with Kenny Omega fighting a ragdoll, and it looks real. He makes it look like he's selling a ragdoll, like a blow up doll's moves, and then Adam Page then he does great work when he was in that. I am nervous because he was gone. I'm not saying he's as rusty as CM Punk, but he definitely is one of those guys that when the whole like a diesel truck, when it's rolling, he's rolling and it's really good. I just don't want no weird botch or something rough because of Adam Page he left and then he come back. You know what I'm saying?
Or if Kenny beats him, which I don't think it's going to go that way. The only way I would think Kenny beat him is maybe because everyone pretty much expects Page to win, like a swerve. But if Kenny beats him, he's got to beat him clean. It can't be because of the super click, because of the Cutler, because of Callis. It's got to be a clean win. However that match ends has to end. I am assuming it's going to end with him kicking out of the One Wing Angel, first man to do it, buckshot lariat. If that's too obvious and Kenny wins, he's got to win clean. That match cannot have a fuck ending, not for as long as we've waited for it.
Yeah.
Page is a terrible promo. I mean, I think Kenny Omega's promos I don't think they're that great. I think that's why they have him with Don. I think Kenny, I think is the better of the two because he kind of comes across like a smarky kind of douchebag that you want to hit.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Also, I got to the part where he was like, I know it's my friends. And then I was like, and then he goes, but I'm here to do cowboy shit. And then,
yeah, cowboy shit. All it takes is a line of profanity to, then we have Anna in the back and Britt Baker interrupts her and they get in a fight.
Which is on the Rampage that happened after Dynamite got off.
Oh, yeah. So they must have just replayed it because you had to get ready for the main. It's no Mark Henry, so no one said it's time for the main event. The Narc against Bobby Fish, the guy with the coolest fucking mouth guard I've ever seen. I won't lie to you, it wasn't a bad match. It was a very strong style, Japanese style match, and it was okay. Bryan Danielson, that's a guy who had a good time off from between matches, and he hasn't lost a step. Excuse me. I'm thinking about the Adam Page promo. No, it was a good match. It was a good main event. It was nothing spectacular.
The only thing I'm interested in thinking about is if you watch through the picture and stuff, and then Bobby Fish being a new hire, people like going booing him already.
Yeah, I didn't.
And then he was actually working with the crowd. There's a part in the picture. I thought he I'm going to say super kick, but I don't think he did a proper super kick. I thought he pretend kicked some kid out in the crowd.
Yeah. He kicked his side. That was kind of funny. He threw that kick.
The guy did this.
Yeah,
he came right back up and started clapping. I'm like, relax.
I was doing the Christian Cage. I was like, where's the sign? Where's the sign? I didn't see no sign, but I was doing the Christian Cage through the majority of the show last night.
But I guess I just don't understand why people are already, because I thought people liked Bobby Fish, and I never, I don't know. Again, I don't know him in his history, but like, I don't think for judging by how he wrestles, he doesn't seem like a heel, but also I haven't heard him talk. So I'm assuming he's just a really good wrestler in that same, but I don't know. That's the only part I was kind of, it goes into that, like, maybe AEW is picking up the wrong people that have such high like fan service. It goes in like, sounds dumb. I don't like how it's, that story Taz said that Vince hates him because he was a made man already.
Yeah.
Like, is there already too many made men that they're picking up with the WWE, like Daniel or Bryan Danielson? CM Punk could take a shit in the middle of the ring and people go like this. I love that you're back. That's the parts I don't get, because like you're trying, like, I want to be here against the young talent to what? Bury him, Cena? Like, what are you trying to do? And like Daniel Bryan, at least his matches at the moment in time were either against the Elite, you ain't gonna bury the Elite, or people like Bobby Fish or Suzuki, which they're excellent matches, and then people both are like this. Well, thank you for giving us this match. But like, I don't know. Maybe there's too many made new free agents in this sense for some of these crowds. Tony, if you come to Detroit, I'll cheer every face. I'll boo every heel. I won't do you wrong.
Nope. I'll make sure I get the crowd behind it too. I'll be getting the people around me to chant. But I think for me, excuse me, like I said, I didn't care for this week's programs at all. A couple of good matches, but I really think, in all fairness to AEW, was because the last time Dynamite was a Saturday, it was built up. It's a Saturday. We're coming to you Saturday night. We got Adam, we got Omega and Jungle Boy. They made it so special. And this was like, don't forget, fans, we're on this Saturday night. I was like, okay.
Yeah. If I had a grade this whole week, it's still better than WWE.
See,
I was going to give it a B. But also, I like the matches. But the promos, or I guess the storytelling, because not many promos besides Arn, and watching it is pretty good. Just having Arn be able to go like this, and then even have the girl smack him and shit.
Arn made the show. Oh, excuse me. It would have been an F if it wasn't for Arn.
Yeah. But a B, but also the B is hanging on because they had a really good buy-in. That's what it was. Suzuki, Bryan Danielson, Bobby Fish against Lee Moriarty, and then there was a women's match. I just can't remember who. But that's all I'm just saying, the idea of there were just some good lineups. Some of the results and some of the ways the show is presented knocked it down. But it was a good, very good lineup, and I am ultra jealous of just being of the Miami location to have their third show of AEW and still having good lineups. Not saying the story part of it was good, but they had great lineups.
Yeah, I didn't think the show was that great this week. We were down in the ratings last week because of the of the show. And hopefully we're not down in the ratings this week, because this will be up as soon as I can Sunday, so you can get it. But it's going to be another day late again next week, because next week we've got another edition of Saturday Night Dynamite. The full gear brackets begin.
We'll see.
I mean, I don't know. I guess, go to the Hardcore Graveyard, www.hardcoregraveyard.com. Follow it on Facebook. Where can we find your shows at?
Find mine shows on all podcast services for the Cousin Cesil show. By the time this comes out, Monday we'll have my new episode with the DC Fandom stuff and all that fun jazz. But yeah, all that fun.
I guess it was a little shorter this week because it's on a Sunday, but I want to thank everybody for watching. And, we'll be back again. Now, if you remember, next Sunday, not next Saturday, we're back next Sunday because of Saturday Night Dynamite.
Yes.